We're often fed this idea, right, that if you just work hard enough, overcome that big challenge, or maybe reach a certain level of success, boom, you arrive.
Yeah, and life suddenly gets easier. Peaceful, even. That's the story.
But is that really how it works? I mean, or does reaching a new level simply, introduce a whole new set of challenges you weren't expecting?
Exactly.
That surprising and honestly quite challenging perspective is exactly what we're exploring today.
Mm-hmm.
We're diving deep into excerpts from the text. For every level in life, there is another devil by David Adu. He really pushes back against that comfortable narrative.
The one that says success equals smooth sailing.
Right.
And the core message Adu delivers is, well, it's potent. Life's tests don't stop just because you've evolved or improved.
So it's not that you graduate from challenges.
Not according to this text, no. In fact, he argues that every step forward, every new level, it comes with its own distinct set of pressures, its own unique challenge, its own devil, as he puts it.
Yeah.
What's powerful here, I think, is that Adu isn't presenting struggle as a sign of failure. He sees it as a fundamental, recurring part of the journey.
Interesting.
So our mission in this deep dive is really to unpack this perspective from the text you shared to understand what these different challenges look like as you grow.
And crucially.
And crucially, how embracing this reality, this pattern, can actually equip you to navigate them when they inevitably appear. This is about giving you a shortcut, really, to understanding these key insights from the book.
Okay, let's jump right into that core idea then. Adu, well, he doesn't mince words. He calls the notion that struggle ends with success a lie we're often sold.
Mm-hmm. Pretty direct.
And his central assertion, the title of the work itself, is, for every level in life, there is another devil.
And he's quick to point out this isn't meant to be like a downer, not depressing.
Oh, how so?
Quite the opposite, actually. He frames it as a truth designed to wake you up.
Wake you up. Okay.
The real insight, he suggests, is that accepting this pattern, that new challenges appear as you grow, it sort of disarms their power to surprise and overwhelm you.
So it stops you from being blindsided.
Exactly. It allows you to shift from being blindsided to being, well, prepared, or at least more prepared.
Right, okay. So the text guides us through what some of these levels and their associated devils look like.
Mm-hmm.
It starts where many people begin, at what Adu calls the first devil, surviving.
Yeah, this is that foundational stage, just trying to make ends meet.
Right.
The book describes being broke, maybe confused, constantly battling bills, searching for self-worth, just trying to feel seen in a world that feels like it's ignoring you.
And the specific challenge here, the devil Adu identifies at this level. It isn't just the external hardship, is it?
No, that's key. It's the internal survival mentality.
What does that mean exactly?
It's that voice inside whispering, you're not enough. It's the pressure to settle for less than you're capable of. It's that insidious belief that maybe dreaming is for other people, not for you, stuck in this struggle. It actively tries to keep you tethered to that initial level.
Wow. And the way Adu describes fighting this devil.
It's about showing up day after day, even when you're just exhausted, holding on to belief in something better, even when everything around you screams hopelessness. It's that sheer grit, that allows you to eventually move forward.
Okay.
But here's where Adu introduces the twist. He points out that nobody really tells you the fight doesn't end just because you've battled your way out of that first survival stage.
Right. You think you've arrived, but...
Exactly. Which leads us to the next level the book explores, the transition into what looks like success.
Okay, so maybe you've landed that better job, or your business is finally gaining some traction.
Or you've found healing, built healthier habits, better relationships.
Yeah.
There's a sense of having finally made it past that initial scramble. And Adu says a new devil emerges right here. This one isn't really about external scarcity anymore. It's more complex.
How so?
He points to challenges like the subtle creep of pride, maybe, or the constant pressure of comparison with others.
Oh, yeah. The comparison trap.
Definitely. And the anxiety of potentially losing what you've worked so hard for. It can even manifest as comfort turning into complacency or, distracting opportunities that actually pull you off your true path.
It sounds like the external world's reaction changes too, based on what Adu writes. Like you're not just cheered for trying anymore.
Right. Suddenly you might be criticized for not doing more, for not being further along.
The goalposts move.
They do. He highlights the shift from just working hard to needing to work smart, navigating public opinion, handling increased pressure, all while trying to guard your internal peace. fiercely.
That sounds exhausting in a different way.
It is. And what's particularly insightful here is Adu's emphasis that the battle at this stage becomes primarily internal.
Internal.
Yeah. Can you handle the spotlight and stay humble? Can you remain grounded when you're elevated? Can you find the motivation to keep pushing when the external applause maybe fades?
He suggests this is where many people falter. And it's not due to a lack of character necessarily, but maybe just a lack of readiness for the specific challenges that come with achieving some measure of goodness or success.
Okay, so moving on. As the text describes moving into even higher levels, new challenges emerge, what Adu calls the silent devils.
Silent devils, yeah.
He paints this picture of feeling increasingly alone, even when you're surrounded by people. Why? Because fewer and fewer people understand the unique pressures and battles you face at this altitude.
That makes sense, a smaller peer group who gets it.
Right. And doubt becomes this quiet companion. Are you qualified? Are you just faking it? Can you really carry this increasing weight of responsibility and expectation?
Adu is very direct here. He confronts the reality this success, or maybe significant growth, it comes with a heavy burden.
A burden.
Yeah, and he makes a really profound point. Growth isn't solely about accumulating gains. It necessarily involves a process of grief.
Grief. That feels counterintuitive. What are you grieving at these higher levels, according to the book? Well, he says you grieve the person you used to be, the old self you had to leave behind to get here.
Oh, okay.
You grieve friendships that maybe couldn't withstand your transformation, people you've perhaps outgrown or just drifted from.
That happens.
And you grieve a simpler time, a time before you knew what you know now, before you felt things so deeply, before you carried this level of, responsibility.
Wow, that's heavy.
It is. But here's the powerful reframe Adu offers. He doesn't see this grief as a punishment or a sign something's wrong.
What is it?
Instead, he calls it proof. Proof that you haven't just passively gone through life, but that you are actively growing through it.
So the grief itself is evidence of growth.
Exactly. The fact that there are things to grieve means you've fundamentally changed. You've moved forward.
Okay. So the pattern is clear then. Survive one level, a new challenge appears at the next, bringing its own internal and external battles. This leads to the crucial question Adu poses.
Which is?
Why? Why does this pattern repeat? Why does the devil show up at every level?
And his answer, well, it shifts the perspective entirely. He argues that the process isn't ultimately about just getting more things or reaching some static destination. It's fundamentally about becoming more.
Becoming more. Okay.
Each challenge, each devil, it serves a purpose, he suggests. It's there to expose your weak spots so you have the chance to strengthen them.
Like a diagnostic test.
Sort of, yeah. It's there to test the purity of your motives. It's like a trial by fire to see if you are truly built for the dream you're pursuing, if you actually have the capacity for that next level.
This reframing leads to one of the most impactful mindset shifts Adu suggests, I think.
Which one's that?
Instead of reacting to difficulty by asking, why me? Taking it personally, like you're being unfairly targeted.
Which is easy to do.
Totally. He says that the more empowering response is to accept it, even expect it, and say, of course me.
Of course me. Wow, that takes a certain confidence, doesn't it?
It does. But the logic he presents is compelling. He says basically, if you weren't growing, if you weren't making progress, you wouldn't be seen as a threat to the old ways or to complacency or whatever.
Ah, so the challenge itself is a sign you're doing something right.
In a strange way, yeah. It's validation, a sign that you are significant, that you are indeed moving forward and stepping into something bigger.
That's a powerful reframe.
This brings us to the message of perseverance that runs through the text. Keep climbing. Anyway, Adu emphasizes that the presence of a new devil doesn't mean you're losing or on the wrong track.
It just means you're still in the fight.
Exactly. It confirms you're still actively in the game. You're still progressing.
He also makes a fascinating observation about people who are truly strong. He writes that they might often look weak on the outside.
How so?
Because they're battling internal wars no one sees. It's a powerful reminder not to judge strength just by outward appearance,
Right. Quiet doesn't equal quitting.
Exactly. And tears aren't necessarily defeat. Sometimes the deepest strength is found in those who endure those unseen battles and just keep moving forward. Inch by inch, maybe.
And Adu offers reassurance, too, drawn from your own history.
Yeah.
He reminds you, the reader, that you've faced and survived many challenges, many devils, to get where you are now.
You have a track record.
Right. So this current one, however daunting it feels, isn't inherently capable of breaking you. It might bruise you. It might stretch you in new ways, for sure.
But it only has the power to destroy you if you consciously choose to let it. That's the takeaway.
Yeah.
Which leads to the final and perhaps most liberating concept Odu presents in these excerpts. The goal isn't just to beat the devil,
What is it then?
but to outgrow him.
Outgrow him.
Yeah.
What does that mean in this context? Like, become too big for the challenge?
Kind of. It means actively learning from the challenges. Standing up to them, yes, but more than that, it's about integrating the lessons so deeply that the next time a similar challenge might appear, you're operating from a higher level of understanding and capability. Odu suggests what you're learning and enduring now is crucial preparation for the even bigger levels and different challenges that lie ahead.
So it's like leveling up your character sheet
Mm.
in game terms.
Huh. Yeah, something like that. You're building resilience, building capacity.
So the book circles back to an empowering perspective. Feeling tired, finding things incredibly difficult, it doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're behind.
It just means you're on a new level.
And as Odu makes clear, new levels inherently bring new tests. It's part of the deal.
Mm-hmm. The ultimate call to action from the text is simple but profound. Keep going, keep climbing, keep believing in where you're headed.
Because
Because if the devil is showing up again, testing your resolve in new ways, it's the clearest sign you could ask for.
that you must be doing something right.
That you must be onto something truly significant, something truly big. So the central takeaway, really, from this deep dive into David Odu's work is this fundamental shift in how we view struggle. It's not some roadblock on the path to peace.
It is the path.
In a way, yeah. It's an integrated, continuous part of the journey itself. Challenges aren't a sign you're failing, they're proof you're growing.
Okay, so here's something to leave you, the listener, with. A final thought to chew on, drawn right from the text. If facing a new struggle, a new devil, is actually a sign that you've reached a higher level in your own life, and perhaps that you're on the verge of something significant, how does internalizing that idea change the way you respond the next time difficulty appears?
Does it shift things?
Yeah, does it shift from why is this happening to me to something more like, okay, what is this challenge here to help me become? Something to think about.